bit of a cold, this is what happens, and it goes on for weeks. Evening, Eric.
Hey, Mr.
Hello.
Hello.
I did not print stuff out for people, so I wasn't sure what people were gonna need.
I didn't either. So.
Is
there
Andy gonna
any
be here?
point-
He said he was gonna print it all out. I saw that in the email, but he's not gonna be here, so.
Is there any point in gonna do my laptop up there?
Okay.
You could.
I don't really, I mean, I don't really wanna go through all of that, I'm not sure it's really worth it.
It's up to you.
Let's
I
see if we
just
can
have
manage
this
without
for
it, because I
minutes.
don't know how
I
to
don't-
work your system here.
Oh. Well, it's just buttons. It's just buttons.
You're the IT person.
It's just not good.
Did you have a chance?
Please just write on the chalkboard, right?
That would be a better idea. Yeah, that's the CPA, and they wouldn't mind writing on
Are you
it.
kidding me?
Where
I
did
thought
the
this was how battery. It was plugged
cable's
in.
gone?
Don't worry about it, Scott, I can give you a
Oh,
heads up.
no, the cable's here, if you need it, so.
Which version are we on with Andy?
Apparently this isn't gonna.
I have the Excel spreadsheet, because that was the one I thought would be easiest to change, although then I realized he doesn't have the formulas in it.
I leave it plugged in all the time, and so probably
So,
the battery doesn't even.
Oh, no.
since it's 7, do we have a quorum now there?
I'll just have to write.
Since it's 7 o'clock, I'd like to call to order the meeting of the ABC. What I'd like to start with tonight is where we have to be with my budget presentation, which is December 8th, Monday. We have to have our recommendations by then, which I don't think is gonna be a huge problem, except for some of the numbers that we don't have yet.
What time are we starting also? Who was here? We need who was here.
Okay.
What I was hoping tonight in terms of getting things done was to talk to everybody and see if anybody had come away with any feelings about things that they thought we should consider cutting. And it seemed like as we went through things that there was, this gets simpler as the years go by because there are less options available to us. When I went through that exercise, listening to people, I came up with 2 things, and one of them was, when we listened to the charitable organizations, Women Aid, we gave $1,000 to last year. This year, their recommendation, their request was for 5. And they said that we gave them 4 last year, and we didn't. So I would encourage us to consider putting that back to 1,000. The other thing was, which is kind of a drop in the bucket, the other thing was, the police, excuse me, the police chief requested, his budget includes an additional officer. And in speaking with Selectman Bugby, he said that the Board of Selectmen has not discussed that, and it's probably not on mind to go there. So I would, is that a
This-
fair assessment?
We haven't really talked about it.
That's what, yeah.
So,
I was under the understanding that this was not requesting an additional officer, like it is, he had already been approved for that officer a long time ago. The 9, or whatever it was, right?
not to my recollection and not to Rebecca's either, so.
I don't have a recollection prior to the chief asking for it, but I was watching, so I saw what you saw. And my understanding is that, well, A, he's currently at 8. And
He wants-
if he wanted 9 and he could have gotten it without asking us, he would have done it.
Exactly.
Therefore, he needs,
In prior years, he has been quite conscientious about providing us a lot of backup on these kinds of requests. And this year, he really didn't politic for it very much at all. And I don't know if that was one of those things he didn't think he had to, or he figured the less said the better, or what, I don't know.
well, I thought his
I think-
argument was pretty straightforward. It was one that in previous years, he was struggling to get from what he had, which was 4 officers, to get to what he was allowed, which was 8.
Yeah,
Now that he's at 8, he wants the 9th because the 9th essentially rounds out the department so that we're not putting, money into overtime when otherwise we wouldn't be. We'd be paying time as opposed to time.
at one point he thought rounded out was 11. There was a time when he was.
This
Okay.
this goes way back.
Going way back, he wanted
Yeah.
11.
I think you
Anyway.
actually really need to look into, because I'm fairly certain that you did approve the 9, and this was a year or so ago, before you started dealing with all these, losses.
Yeah,
And so what he said was, he hadn't hired for that position, and he kept it open and kept it open and kept it open and didn't hire for it, because first of all, there weren't any qualified people, and he was having difficulty getting them. Now he's saying he would like to hire for that already approved position, which I think you guys did, is my understanding of that. So just look into it and
can you
see.
find out?
There's also a difference between the position being approved and the position being budgeted for.
No,
Well, in his mind.
we had
there-
already done it. It was a while ago.
The other thing is, and I don't know if you want to preface it or not, but as you look at the bottom line on this, the requests are $600,000 more than what they are currently. So,
I mean,
That's-
than last year's budget.
than last year's budget.
Right.
So
As a result
that's
of-
a big sea change. And the
But-
thing we talked about earlier was the county is down $40,000, which is nice. And the state education tax is down $20,000, so that's nice.
Yeah.
The salary across the board, we calculated is approximately, using 2.5% as the salary across the board, is about $80,000. So, and then we still don't know, I still don't know what the STEP program is gonna put in terms of increases in there as well. So 600,000 minus 20, minus 40, plus 80, plus something else, you're looking at probably $1.50 increase on the tax rate,
Right.
which is like almost
So-
6, so that's 25% increase on the town rate.
I want you to understand, though, that I'm not saying that we should do that. I'm just saying where he was coming from. He's not asking for another officer. He already had that approved, in the past. He's just saying, can I have that officer that I had approved? I'm not saying we should give it to him. I'm just saying that's where it's probably came from.
Can we get clarification on where that stands? Because if I have to get up and talk about this in front of the select board, I'd like
Right.
to know if I'm telling him that he can't have an officer.
That's why I'm
But
saying,
he has.
just, let's clarify
yeah.
it.
Versus,
I'm pretty sure that's the way it is. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not that at all.
Okay.
But
Because that's 100.
I remember.
as I asked Andy how much it would cost for the officer, and this is another thing that he and Julie always used to tell us, that when she budgeted health insurance for an open position, that she budgeted the family rate. And what Andy has in here is a single rate, which is about 14 grand, almost 15 grand. So the amount for the amount that's currently in the budget for the position that we're talking about is $102,000.
So budgeting for that position would be significant, and maybe we can't do it this time.
Well, we have historically not cut positions that were already, we have, in all the
Right.
years I've been on this, we have never really cut a position,
Well,
or proposed cutting a position.
that's the reason because he was filling in and he was doing all the hours.
Oh, I
and
know,
He was
I-
doing all that. The position was there, he couldn't fill it. He didn't have qualified people. He had to get people to go to the,
There she is.
and then he finally
Hi.
got people to get up, because he even lost people. It was below his aid.
Did you print out his worksheet?
What?
Did you print out a worksheet?
No,
No,
I just brought my,
okay. I didn't print
We're
words out
all
for people because I
like,
wasn't, so we're kind of talking in.
That's okay, though. We can
what I was saying was,
Go for yours.
I have to make a presentation to the Board of Selectmen on the 8th. So I need to have, I think the biggest thing we're gonna get today is what information we need, which is still out there. We were just having a discussion about the police budget, about whether my shooting from the hip answer about something we could get rid of was Officer Chief Jonesfeld had said that his budget included an extra officer. And we were just discussing whether that is a difference of memory here in terms of whether that's a position that was previously approved for him, or if that's a new position. If it was previously approved, then it's, taking it out of the budget is a bigger deal than if it isn't. So Scott's gonna check on that. Can you talk a little bit more about the STEP program in terms of what we're waiting for and who we're waiting for it from?
Andy?
Andy?
So the STEP program, the amount that the STEP program is for all the employees. The one for the fire department, we know how much that is. We don't know how much it is for the other one, the rest of the staff. That's something Andy's supposed to be getting.
Is the STEP program for the fire department already in Scott's numbers?
That's my understanding, yes.
Okay.
But it's not in the other ones.
There are increases in salaries in various departments.
I believe those are the ones from the current fiscal year that was implemented July 1st.
So those were not budgeted in last year's budget.
They're budgeted in this current fiscal year's budget.
For instance, last year's budget, Andy was at 94,095. This year, he's budgeting himself at 96,390. Now, is that an increase he put in, or is that,
It's my understanding that that is what he got for an increase July 1st.
okay, so that doesn't include, okay,
That's my understanding. I
okay,
can ask him that question too, but I'm pretty sure that's the case.
okay. So we don't have the STEP program, awesome.
For everybody except for the fire department. Because the fire department's is a little bit different. There's a step in there, but also they get extra money for different accreditations. Like if they get firefighter 2 and they're already a firefighter 1, they get a bump for that. So the more training that they have, they get compensated for that.
Okay. The other area that I am confused about where we're at is the town clerk tax collector. When Linda came in and made her presentation, we sent her back to the drawing board because it didn't look like she'd put enough money in there. What we have now is her second stab at that. And I've kind of lost track in terms of what we're trying to do there. And I don't even have any way to assess what,
So,
I know we're trying to keep the office staff, that's about,
so you've got the salary of the town clerk tax collector, which is the $65,000. You've got the deputy, which at the moment is Linda at $56,941. And they've got $10,000 in there for the assistant. Now they have potentially 3, as of last night, 3 people that are interested in a position that live in Lee.
you're kidding.
No. Yes, I am kidding. No, I am not kidding. So,
Wow.
so there, you have to check those people out. But they live in Lee, so that potentially they could become the deputy, because you have to live in Lee to be the deputy or the town clerk.
So with the proper training, they could actually do it.
Yeah.
Well, my concern is, if we got Linda in there, we've got Shannon, we got $10,000 for an assistant. Say they hire somebody tomorrow,
Mhm.
they take maybe 6 months to train.
Mhm.
Is there enough money in this? I'm still not sure that she's got enough money in there.
Mhm.
After adding
Yeah.
significant,
The big question mark is, 1, when can you get somebody in there to be the assistant? 2, how long does Linda stay? And the thing is, this is for next fiscal year. So,
Starting July of next year.
yeah, so by that time, whoever it is should be sufficiently trained as the assistant. At some point in this fiscal year, Linda should go away. And then there'll be two people in there, one deputy and one town clerk, tax collector. Linda is comfortable being the assistant, but on call, not there all the time. So she'd be the assistant. But that's whenever she stops being full-time.
Do you think are you comfortable with the way she's done it now?
We can see. The other thing is, I believe Linda's getting benefits, so the
She's getting
assistant,
benefits, she's retired.
she's full-time, I believe she's getting benefits. I don't have that sheet in front of me.
Which sheet is it?
The sheet with the benefit calculations?
I thought there were restrictions on how much, let's see.
Well, there's very limited positions in the town clerk's office, so you can kind of tell who's who.
How would it even work?
But
She would have to go off, if she has Medicare. How could she have,
I don't know her
I don't,
details.
I wonder how that actually.
Well, that would tell you.
I doubt that would.
I'm not certain that's relevant.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think it would be. She wouldn't be, if she's getting health benefits.
Is this
I
a
suspect you can't deny it to her because of her age.
No, she's retired
Yes.
and collecting
So-
Medicare.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, so then
Scroll
she wouldn't be
down.
able to
I don't know
collect
if you can-
Medicare if she has some
or
other
scroll up, whatever.
health program. I don't think she would do that, is what I'm saying. I think she would.
Yeah, she's getting benefits. Linda Reinhardt.
Maybe she's getting the pay,
No, she's getting benefits. She's getting retirement system, she's getting social security,
right, but not health.
retirement. So she's getting benefits. I don't know if she's getting.
Not
There's
health.
another spreadsheet for that.
They wouldn't be able to do that, I don't think.
Well, she's getting retirement system. There's another spreadsheet that talks about health benefits. I don't know if you have that one.
No,
That would be the,
do you know which one it is?
so maybe she can collect all the other benefits.
Well, it's all lumped with everybody else. You need the spreadsheet to say what she's,
Here's all Andy's emails. He's up late.
I guess we should ask. Maybe.
Well, it doesn't matter if she's,
Right.
it really doesn't make any difference.
Well, you were just asking because do we have enough money? And if he's saying, well, she's also getting benefits,
Well,
so
but
that's
that's
an
in his
additional.
budget, that's not in her, that's not
Oh,
in,
okay, so it doesn't
it
matter.
doesn't matter,
Okay,
so.
but the thing is, it's gonna save some money because right now, based on that, that's without the 2.5%, we're paying $103,000 for her yearly. So that would go away. And you'd have the assistant earning whatever the
right,
assistant.
so it would work ideally.
Yeah, because if she's still here by July 1st, 2026, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Don't say that out loud.
I know.
Well, you're either gonna have her, or you're gonna have someone else, but you're not gonna have both, so it's not gonna be, you know?
Yeah, well, just like she just said, don't say that out loud.
Well,
Okay.
I think we could say that out loud.
We were talking about this particular subject, and I was talking with a friend, and I said, you're hearkening to the days of Penny Stetson.
Jesus.
She was here 20-some odd
Right.
years, and it's like, because every time somebody leaves, you have to do an audit, there's an expense to that, so,
Penny wasn't the world's most cheery, friendly soul either.
who, Penny?
Penny,
Well, she was very lovable after you get to know her.
she's like Barracuda. Okay, so we're identifying what we need that's additional. Scott's gonna get us, Scott does an analysis that shows, given estimates on where we think we're at with other pieces of the tax rate, what the impact of the increases in this one are. He's gonna get us that, and he's gonna get us the STEP program. Last night at the Board of Selectmen meeting, the Board of Selectmen discussed worked through most of the warrant article amounts, the additions to the,
Well, the contributions to the trust funds and capital reserve
Yes.
funds, not all the warrant articles. 'Cause
I
there'll be some-
misspoke, you're right.
That's okay.
Okay. The capital reserve additions.
And there's two that still are open. John, do you remember? I think one of them was reevaluation, the other one was cisterns, wasn't it? Was that the other one?
You had a question about roads and bridges.
Roads
You had a
and
question
bridges, Was it
about
roads and
the-
bridges? Okay. Yeah, that
What
culvert.
was called a pipe or culvert.
Yeah, and I thought there was a question about the cisterns and stuff too, but maybe not. There was two of them.
There has been a question from the fire chief about the fire ponds and cisterns fund, but
Okay.
that's not there.
Do you-
The other thing you were talking about adding, but it didn't affect an appropriation, was in recreation.
Oh, yeah.
It was a cost.
Can you, do you have that summary that you can send to Pat
Which one?
in terms of what we did last
Oh,
night?
what you did last night, yeah.
She was
Yes.
asking about that. The contributions that add up to the 716. And that's the last part of the puzzle. You have to add on 142,000?
What?
Because this year it's 570 and it went to 716, right? So that's 146,000. So you have to add that. So we're up close to 800,000 increase, which is $2.
Well, in terms of the departments that have increases, town clerk, tax collector over last year really isn't very big.
Well, there's more elections.
Actually, more, it went, and the election part actually went down because as bad as Linda's budget is for this year, it's not as bad as it was budgeted for last year. So we're actually, the big change in any of the departments was in, let's see. Financial administration is not different by very much. Personnel administration is really
Yep.
the beast. And the increase in that is from
Health insurance.
$1,290,000 to $1,580,000. So and the largest piece of that is health insurance. And my understanding is that unless we take out that police officer, there really isn't anything else we can change in that.
Not really.
Zoning and planning changed almost not at all. Government buildings didn't change a lot. I'm trying to identify where the things are that we can really make some difference in. The police officers, the police department went up $100,000. Part of that is the officer we're talking about. The other thing, the chief sent out a note saying he's changing the,
Kalia.
now which,
That's on, it's like
there it is.
eighth one
Okay.
down.
Yeah, what's he changing? He's getting rid of that altogether?
Yes, he's going with the state program because Kalia is so expensive. So the state's
is a-
instituting a program.
So the 10 is going to 0?
He said take out the 5, so I think you can go from 10 to 5. You can ask that question too, but
Okay.
he said you can reduce it to 5, or take 5 out.
Does that mean they lose all the money they've spent other years trying to get ready for this?
No, the state program is, you still have to have those things. It's just the state's gonna monitor you instead of Kalia.
Oh, okay.
It's something new that the state did 2 years ago or a year ago or something like that. He has more information, but
So the personnel administration increase is really where most of your money is, that and the police department and the fire department.
2.5 wages.
It's up almost 25%.
it's what?
No,
What
I
was
can't
it?
believe you're looking at these spreadsheets
I
on your
know.
phone.
I know.
You're gonna go blind,
It's an
Eric.
increase of 300,000 over almost 1.3 million.
Mhm.
Is that personnel administration?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's almost all in health insurance, and there isn't a blessed thing we can do with it.
Just to let you know, Andy is looking at other options for health insurance. He's trying to find other similar programs
it's,
from
it's-
different carriers.
sorry, it's not just the health insurance, it's the retirement.
Well, that, yeah, that we can't do anything about either, because that's contractual with the state. Who at one point in the history of the world told us they were gonna fund retirement for
Yeah.
municipalities.
Don't say that out
employees.
loud,
Don't
too.
say that.
That went the way of the dodo. Do you think there's anything in the fire department we can do anything about? I didn't get the impression that there was much that, once again, it's people.
He didn't change it.
Well, the budget went up 50 grand. No, 80 grand.
Mhm.
So what did he say?
It's all wages.
Right.
Overtime is up 50%, went from 50,000 to 75. The thing I don't like about these spreadsheets is they don't tell you the difference.
The what?
They don't tell you the difference.
No,
You have
it's
to
not.
know.
That is correct.
It's what?
Scott is correct. I wish this was in a different format.
Yeah.
That would make our job considerably easier.
Even if you went
I
to
really
legal
didn't go up
paper,
very much.
like for instance, I would want the 2020, 25 budget and the actual and the difference.
Yes.
What was the difference?
Yes.
And the same thing with, because actuals for the current fiscal year aren't even in here. And then the difference. And probably a couple columns that, you know, what the percentage increase is.
In direct assistance, Andy had raised the
Yeah.
rent it was 60 grand last year, the rent assistance, and he's budgeting it at 50 grand this year.
It's based on usage, I believe that's what he said. See, the thing is, we don't know, if you look in 25's actual is 37,675. This current year, based on usage, he was telling us,
It's down a lot.
so he's asking for 50,000. So,
What do you think?
I don't know, people are having a hard time these days, so.
It's true. You're not
And-
making this easy, Scott.
Hey, I'm telling you the truth. And the thing is, Pam Mattingly, who is our health officer, she does an excellent job in terms of getting them assistance from other places
other
besides the town,
programs,
so, yeah. So the $6,000 that we pay her, 5,000, excuse me, is well worth it.
Can we make matters worse category, do we have to put the contingency in here, or is that a warrant article?
That's a warrant article, usually comes out of this unassigned fund balance.
Okay, so I don't have to worry about that.
That's the other thing, the papers we got last night, the unassigned fund balance is down to $1.6 million. And the policy that we have set up is anything below 1.5, we have to have at least 1.5 in there, because it's not all cash. The other thing, just to let you know, and it has nothing to do with this meeting, so take it with a grain of salt maybe, the treasurer is having a problem. In December, he has a cash flow issue.
He has a cash flow issue.
Yeah, because bills have not gone out yet.
That's true.
And we have to, when they do get sent out, you need to give the taxpayer at least 30 days. So if you think you're gonna get your tax bill December 1st, no. So if we take the tax rate on Thursday, that's the 20th, she can probably send them out the next Monday, that's the 24th, so it's like the day before Christmas they're due. Yeah, that's the happiness, and you don't wanna know what you're gonna be getting for an increase either, so it's based on what is in the unassigned fund balance, most likely we're not gonna be able to use anything to offset the tax rate. So, you know that place you just went for
So
food?
all our
You
taxes.
best go see if you can get a part-time job there to pay your taxes, so.
That's what the co-op is. Anyway,
We're all gonna be going to-
as I said at the outset, my two low-hanging fruit were the police officer, which we now don't know if that's really an easy low-hanging fruit, or if that's a big production of cutting a position that already exists, and cutting women aid back to 1,000 from what we gave last year. Did anybody else have a feeling for things as we went through presentations of where there was any? I mean, most years there's been,
Was that the only one, that Lemonade was the only one that,
it's the only one that.
I thought there was another one that went up
I don't think so.
like significantly. And maybe they
No.
should.
It was just women aid, right?
It was just
No.
that one?
Youth services assistance, that's the money that if somebody can't pay to go to Oyster River Youth. We
Oh, right.
went from
Yeah.
2,000 down to 500. Women Aid, 1,000, they asked for 5. Cornerstone VNA, 1,500, that's the same thing they're asking for.
Yeah.
The same thing with Meals on Wheels,
And they
same
do
thing.
Tons of stuff.
Haven, same thing, 3,775, that's been that number for years. Ready Rides, 1,500. Community Action Cap, which is 4,000, same thing they got this year. Waypoint, 1,000. CASA, 1,000, and Aid Seacoast Response, $700.
There's nothing significant to it, even if they,
Yeah.
that's not where we wanna take it.
But when you say low-hanging fruit, you're just talking about increase from the prior year. You're not talking about going at something we've
No,
budgeted
Well,
in prior years.
something we
cutting
can
it.
take out.
I guess probably the use of the words low-hanging fruit, I was thinking of things that are easy, so you're right, that's generally what, but we may have to go beyond that if we wanna make any significant changes. Was there something, you sound like you had something in mind.
The only, I'm gonna use that phrase again, the only low-hanging fruit that I could think of as it was happening was the 9th police officer, which did not leave a good taste in my mouth as it went through my brain.
Right.
But the other thing that's been going through my brain from the very beginning is what Scott was alluding to, is that our rate is going to go up significantly, and that's a real problem.
Our tax rate, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, no.
But
for
we're
everybody.
talking about the year beyond the current one.
Yeah. We are,
Right, right. This is 27,
Mm.
right?
yes.
Yeah, we're not even talking about 26, which is coming.
Well, the thing that I think you're alluding to, Eric, is
Yeah.
you're gonna get your tax bill in December.
Yeah.
You're gonna be pissed off. When you go to vote in March, you're gonna say, nope, 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 nope.
So this is another thing that's been on the back of my mind, because I know John made a presentation, I think it was to the Energy Commission, I could be wrong, where he shows like the last 5 years, like the percentage that the budget has passed by. And
Yes.
it keeps going down every year, and if you plot it out, at some point in the next 1 to 3 years, it's gonna hit home.
As far as vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means the default budget.
How many years can you keep telling people, oh, it's 8% increase, oh, it's 9,
Well,
oh, it's
right.
10? It's like, and the thing is, there's a correlation between what you vote for in elections and also the school and what your tax rate is. And the thing is, one of
The school
the
is.
conversation I've had, not with the current superintendent, but the previous one is, they don't ever get people complaining, because they complain to us. And the thing is, it doesn't,
Yeah.
we have no control of the school budget. But they never get any complaints, people saying, oh, no, my taxes are too high, you need to do something. They go and they figure, oh, I'm voting for the school, school's great, which it is. We have a very good school district, but you pay for that. And the thing is, at some point, people need to say,
And then people-
okay, I can't afford this anymore. But they don't. But the problem, also the problem is, in the Oyster River School District, no matter what Lee and Madbury vote for, if the majority in Durham vote for it, it passes. So we're kind of like stuck, so.
And it is the major portion of this.
So I was limiting my contents to the town
Okay,
piece.
sorry, I expanded it,
Oh,
so
okay.
sorry, sorry.
But that's a significant portion of the tax rate.
Oh, here's your, yeah, you don't want to see
Yeah.
this, but,
So the blue is what
Everyone
was the
like that.
budget,
mm,
the green is the budget corrected to fixed dollars, so you could adjust for inflation.
Mhm,
And this red is what was the percent that passed,
mhm.
the approval. And we had 2 years where the default budget was actually larger than
Than
the
the-
proposed budget. So of course, the proposed budget passed by a landslide.
Mhm.
And then we've had several years when the budget was passing with roughly like 65%.
Can you show that to
Last-
Amanda? I think we've,
Yeah.
can you show that to Amanda? I
Last
think
year,
most of
it
us
just
have.
got over 40%.
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah.
what happened last year.
Yeah,
Well, of course, we have a town administrator who comes from a town that hasn't passed a budget in
7, 8 years.
7 or 8, it may be more than that now.
Yeah.
Deerfield just goes to the default budget every year. I don't know how they do that, but.
Or they just don't increase it.
One thing that this group has never done, and so I don't think the select board's ever done, at least since I've been around, is actually go where Eric was just talking about, which is looking beyond proposed increases in positions and say,
Mhm.
Chief Dronsfeld, not only are we not gonna give you this position, we're gonna ask you to let somebody go. Or say to the fire department, we're not gonna fund your increases this year, we want you to cut your staffing. We've never gone there.
And I think there's a reason we haven't gone there. And we just came out of a problem where we were losing people and not keeping them because, I know it's a catch-22, but you have to have the services, you know.
Yeah.
Well, you're-
Public safety and police and fire are, in my opinion,
Well, they're about the only
The most-
services we offer in the town.
yeah,
yeah.
and they're very important. So you can argue against another police officer, and can you do it, you know? Tom filled in a lot because we didn't have anywhere near enough for a long time, and, you know, we have another year and a half.
The other, that's the next thing.
Fortunately,
Andy and
he's
he and
from-
Scott are looking at retiring in a year and a half, and as much as we pay them, I think we're gonna find we're way below market for that type of
and
position. on the
you're gonna have a
committees.
difficult time finding
Yeah,
people.
so this isn't
So
gonna get
that's the
better.
thing. Some of the things that they're talking about, like us combining with other towns to reduce our expenses and
Yeah.
so forth, I think is a good idea. That's where I think we need to go and look.
I'm glad we're,
Because,
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I just don't think we can compromise on what we have. And it stinks because I don't wanna pay any more taxes, I can't pay any more taxes, I'm, you know, at my limit as it is, and so is everybody else. But what do? Now we're not gonna have, you know, police, fire, roads, you know, that's what you have to pay for.
I know, we've talked about before, maybe looking at proposing like a 5% across, say to everybody, decrease your budget 5%, we don't care how you do it. We've never done that to people either. And in most of these
No.
budgets, you know, at the interest of keeping the salaries up, the other expenses have largely been cut back anyway. So there's not really a lot of,
Well, the thing is, to use your term, the low-hanging fruit, we've nipped all the low-hanging fruit. If you get the police officer and eliminating. So now you're down to people and programs.
Yep.
So either you start culling people or cutting out things that we do for particular people. So, and I know, I agree with Tom, police and fire are something that people generally support. But the thing is, what else do you get rid of? And it's not easy, and you're getting paid $100 a year to make these hard decisions. So it's like, oh my goodness
It's hard.
sakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suggestions.
And the thing is, we can go through this and, you know, nickel and dime, $100 a year, $200.
We've
It's not
done that,
gonna-
yes.
it's
That's not gonna make the
At the end of it, you
difference.
It's
end up-
not gonna make it.
We've gone through each department and cut $100 here and $100 there, and at the end of it, we've driven the people that put the budget into the computer nuts.
And the thing is,
We haven't saved.
the thing is,
You should find out about that police officer
well, some of
and
this,
whether that
yeah,
makes a difference or not. Tom
It's a
always
different
is
zone.
logical, and if we need to say, we can't do it this year to have you hire for that position or whatever, then
mhm.
of course he's gonna say, okay, this is what we're gonna work with.
The other thing is, just so people's edification, maybe just for Amanda's too, 250,000 that was in a separate warrant article this last year, there's nothing in here except $50,000 for paving. So
I know.
you need to add that $250,000 on top of all those things that I just talked about in terms of the 600,000, whatever, because that's not in here either. That's gonna affect your tax.
Now, wait a minute, that's gonna be a warrant article.
Yeah,
So it'll be in the numbers you give me for the warrant articles,
Yeah.
just the trust funds.
but in terms of when we're
No,
talking
wait a
about
minute,
tax
no,
rate,
okay, it isn't an addition to trust funds.
no, it's an operating expense.
For roads,
Yeah,
or paving,
yeah.
Well,
So,
to explain to Amanda.
Yep.
Our budget for pavings run around $250,000, $200,000 to $300,000 for years. And what we'd always do was whack $100,000 off it. That was the first thing we did, was whack $100,000 off this thing. Last year, they pulled it out of the budget and they made it a warrant article so people could vote on whether or not they wanted to spend $300,000.
250, I believe, was it?
I think it was 250
Yeah,
last year.
250.
Do you want to talk about that number?
Well, if you cut that number, then you're gonna get behind in terms of the,
We say that every year, but I mean,
you
I'm,
know, price of asphalt is up. He extended the contract from last year to this year, they kept the same price, which is nice, but it's still 80 some odd dollars a ton. And it probably ain't going down,
that's the
but,
problem, prices keep going up.
see, one of the things that I've always had a hard time with here is that we ask the people who run these departments, who supposedly know what they're doing, like Tom and like Steve, and then we come in here and go, all right, what can we cut out of their budgets after they told us what they really needed? I think that's kind of presumptuous on our
I
part,
know.
but
well, it's the same thing if you're doing your home budget, you know, you want something, but if you can't afford it, you can't afford it.
so what do you see in here that, has anybody got any idea on where we can go without going through and?
Personally, I don't see anything unless we start doing nickel and dime, and that doesn't work. So unless you start
We've done that
saying,
before.
yeah, unless you start saying, okay, we don't need that person in that department, because the biggest thing in here is, and Eric was just talking about it, the health insurance. And the thing is, do you start saying, okay, well, the staff need to start paying a little bit more? Do you cut in terms of the benefits of what we offer? Like I said, Andy's looking at multiple different packages. Some of them are the same, but from a different carrier. The poor school district, they have something through, I don't remember, it was something choice. No, it's
School
not.
care.
Clear choice. or
School,
something?
that's
School
it.
care.
Oh,
Yeah.
They have those
They had a
retirees.
shortfall, so they said, oh, sorry, you need to pay $500,000 more. Not on the coming fiscal year, the current one. So
Yeah.
people are like scrambling. So Oyster River Cooperative School District has them. We don't. But they're like in a dire strait in terms of, okay, well, we need to find $500,000 someplace in the current budget, not next budget. So, I don't know, at some point, something has to give. But Andy is looking to see if we can save some money there.
Well, there is a little bit of time
Health
for this
insurance is
budget to,
Yeah,
My personal health insurance went up $300 a
yeah,
month.
yeah.
John, were you gonna send me that schedule on the additions to the trust funds for the,
It's ridiculous.
I was asked,
the schedule they developed last night for,
yes, I made a note to send that to
okay,
you.
thank you. Do we know if the library is gonna ask for more money?
As far as I know, no.
Okay.
They've got the, was it 200 and some odd thousand, 290, but they have plans to pay for it through different,
FPT is calling for 24,000
yeah. So it's,
from
But
what
they've
they have.
done petition warrant articles the last couple of years.
I do not know.
The other dead horse that I keep dragging up on the table is whether or not the select board has any emergency plans for an office building if we get tossed out of the Daily building for them to sell it.
We're gonna meet at your house.
When's our lease up?
It's 2 more years, I think, 2 more years. So he can kick us out with notice. He's in the
How much
middle.
notice?
Well, he can't sell it until it's, that particular property is tied up in a trust. And he has to, I don't wanna say, this is not the right word, he's not gonna break the trust, but he has to do something to the trust so that he can sell off some of those particular parcels. And that's one of them that he's looking to get rid of at some point. He's in the middle of that, he hasn't finished it, so at some point.
I had an off-the-cuff conversation with Ms. Rossi about a number of things, and this kind of came up, and her feeling is that we could extend the lease, that the lease is extendable, and they're not gonna sell a building in a week. Or if they were gonna sell it, they would sell it to us for maybe $1 million.
Yeah. Yeah. All those things are possible. It's what Mr. Daly wants. So, young Mr. Daly, not old Mr. Daly, he's passed away.
Is the outcome of that gonna impact this budget?
Well, we don't have $1 million sitting around to buy it, so, yeah. We don't have $1 million sitting there just doing nothing, so.
But do we have 2 years or not necessarily?
I mean, I'm still worried about Andy and Denise sitting in a tent out on 125.
That's funny.
Anything involving a building, a new building for town office, that is going to involve a bond. There's no way
Right,
around that.
yeah.
Even if we started now, I don't think we could get one built before the end of the lease. That's why I
Yeah.
keep ranting.
I checked with the 2 select people last night, and I said it's still our collective intention, not this March, but March of '27, to go for a new building. And they both said yes. So,
That's, my question isn't from the decision-making process. My question is there legitimately time to go through the process of designing a building, getting it approved by the voters, and built before the end of the lease? And looking at some of the timeframes that we've had for other projects like this that have been turned down, it looks like you better be looking for tents, because they're not gonna have, there's just not enough time between A and B to.
it's up to
actually do that.
Mr. Daly, because yes, you can extend the lease. I suspect if we said, oh, we need another year, I suspect he'd probably say, okay. But, you know, I'm not privy to what his thought process is and what he needs to do with that particular parcel, so.
Okay, so, but there's nothing that impacts this year's budget, the budget we are dealing with now about that,
No.
okay?
You're saying we've been in that building for 7 years? I don't think that's right.
2000, what was it, 21 or 22?
Yeah, and it goes to 29.
It's what?
It's
You mean-
9 years.
19?
The total
We
is
just
not,
asked Andy, and he said we had 2 years left.
I think we have 2 years left on the second tier.
2 years. Because there's three
Three-year
three-year
terms.
periods. But
Correct.
the other thing in the lease that we have is with notice, he can say, you know, I'm selling this or I want you out. There's a period that, you know, gives us time to get out.
There should be like 5 years left, right?
And I think it's,
Well, we moved there with COVID, so COVID was 2020, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
So we said, oh, we have to do something with the town hall, oh, we can't do it, we have to find someplace else.
So there's
So I
like
suspect,
at least 4 years left.
yes.
so,
Well, that's
okay.
manageable, okay.
Which then would kind of make
So I was
sense,
going by
since 2
Andy's
years left
thing,
of the
too.
second renewal.
Correct.
Right.
I think that's
Okay,
it.
well, that makes more sense.
2
But the
years,
thing is-
2 years, and then the price goes up
Okay.
again.
Yeah, the price
It's only
goes
a
up every
small
single
Well, I
increase.
know, price goes up, but,
It's only
Right.
5%.
We
okay.
got 52.25, 52.50 now per month that we have to pay.
5250?
Yes, $5,250 a month.
Huh.
It's only a 5% increase each 3 years.
Changed, yeah. That's probably better than
Well,
anything we can do.
He gave us a
Yeah.
discount, but the thing is,
Keep it.
part of the thing, the responsibility is anything inside the building that breaks, we have to pay for it.
Yeah.
And usually if you're renting or leasing, usually the owner pays for that kind of stuff, but he gave us a break. So we've had to do stuff with the furnace, there's a whole bunch of stuff, the heater, some heater, water heater or something. So, and we had to replace those 2 doors, which were not cheap, it was like $6,000 for those 2.
You also have a building that was damaged with that tiny earthquake.
Yes, the tiny earthquake, yep,
It did?
yes.
Cracks in the floor, ceiling opened
Things are
up,
offset, what is the doors are offset?
doors wouldn't
Really?
open or close.
Yeah. Was it 2.8?
What, right
I think it was
through there?
2.8 or something.
I think it was just over 3.
Are there any thoughts, getting back to whether we can do anything with this or not? Excuse me. Is there any thought about, you said we probably can't take any of this out of fund balance?
There's only $1.6 million in there at the moment.
Excuse me.
Take a drink. I think it's vodka, that's why it's just.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Let's
Can I
talk
take this
about.
moment to ask Amanda what she thinks about all this craziness?
First impression, because we know what Eric's first impression was from last year.
The lease agreement is dated up starting October 20th. October
What is that
2020.
here?
2020.
And we all agree.
Right.
But,
But I also want fire and police services
Exactly.
and schools and
that's
things.
the conundrum that we're all in.
Yes.
Scott,
We need all the
look at
services
revenue.
that we're getting. We want our
Revenue,
roads
what's
to be
the
able to be
forecast for
better.
revenue?
Yeah.
Fire
I don't
and
know off the top of my
police
head.
and I think we just have to.
There's, as you know, our biggest thing is motor vehicles, and that's up. So that's something. But the other stuff, I don't think you're gonna see big changes. Timber tax is not gonna change. Excavation
Income?
tax, yeah.
Yeah,
And they're all small. The biggest thing is, it's a little under $1 million for motor vehicles. There was a lull when we had COVID, but now it's back up again. People are buying vehicles, and of course, they're more expensive, so you get a little bit more revenue.
registrations. and-
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, what I would like to ask everybody to do between now and next Tuesday, and get back to me over the email if you want to, is if anybody has any brainstorms. Other than that, I think we're at the point where coming up with a number is mostly Scott getting skewed information pieces nailed down.
So, now I'm doing it. The cost of the STEP program, what the
Yes.
total cost is, the additional officer in the police department, is it included, how much is it?
So wait a minute, is it, I know how much it is. I have
Okay.
numbers from Andy on how much is in the budget.
Okay.
The question is that a new position, or is that a previously authorized position he is just looking to fill? Now, we can choose to budget it or not as we see fit, but from a political perspective, it's certainly different if you say to him, gee, I know you have this position out here, but we're not gonna let you fill it because we don't have money.
According to Mr. Bugby and Ms. Hawthorne, it is not authorized, and it's not something that we have agreed to. That might be different than what you heard, but as of last night, the conversation that she and I had, it's not included.
I think you should look into that,
Would it make any sense to ask the chief?
because you
what
can
his
know
recollection-
whether it's been approved before
Doesn't make
or
any
not.
difference. Well, Tom, I guess
You
I'll
know?
disagree with you because it doesn't make any difference. If 2 of us don't agree to it, it's gone. So,
If you've, like,
no,
in the
that's
past
not how,
years,
that's not how it works. Just because he has it doesn't mean he gets it again.
okay, so that's
So it really doesn't
the
matter.
part that,
Doesn't
so it
really
doesn't
matter.
really matter,
Okay,
yeah.
then
Doesn't
that's,
really matter.
okay. So he's not gonna say, gee, I had that position, I just wasn't using it.
He can say that, but I don't think the 2 of us, I'm not sure what John's gonna say. I don't think John's in favor of it either. Because the conversation we had last night in
That's
terms of
fine.
all the stuff that's being added,
And if you can't, then you can't.
Okay, then we'll just, then don't bother going, I have the numbers.
okay.
Okay, what I really need is a step program,
The
the,
non-fire department STEP program, because I believe the STEP program is in here for the.
now, is the step, so Andy's gonna adjust these salaries for the step program, okay? Are there, can you also ask Andy if there's anything else he told us he was gonna do that he didn't do? mean, I'm kind of,
Well, you don't have the health insurance calculations, you should have that.
the health insurance, I mean, the schedule by employee?
Yeah.
I thought he didn't send it, he sent us the other benefits, he didn't send us health insurance.
I thought he did, but I'll look.
Did you have a number for accrued benefits finally, did you?
Yes, it's 197,000. Did you not get that either?
I don't know. How's that for
Well, it
answer?
doesn't make any difference. We can send it again. It's not like,
Well, it doesn't, the only reason that we needed that number was for you, for the select board to decide what they wanted to put in this, in the trust fund.
And
That's
they
the
did,
only impact that the
They-
accrued
they-
benefit.
we decided that last time.
they
Okay,
did
so we
that.
don't need, I don't need anything else on accrued benefits, I was just curious if you had what you needed for the,
Yeah,
They-
we did it
okay.
They
last
did
time.
That's
that,
done.
We tweaked it a little bit.
and they
Okay.
reduced the estimated annual cost from $15,000 to $10,000.
Okay,
And that meant that to meet all of those projections, you needed to set aside $12,159, and they overrode that to make it $10,000.
So, but you should have that accrued benefits spreadsheet so you understand, because the two biggest ones are the two chiefs. So everybody else is relatively smaller. But there's, I don't know, how many employees, 27? So,
I don't know if the select board would be comfortable with this or not, but if Andy's going out to bid on the insurance,
he's not going out to bid, he's looking for other plans, so he's not bidding the thing, he's going out and talking to his old colleagues to see if he can find another carrier that offers similar coverage at a cheaper price.
I mean, one thing we could do is adjust that number to what we want to live with, and just say to Andy, either find coverage at this price, or we're gonna have to up the contribution from the employees to get to that number.
Well, that's a conversation the select board would have to have with employees too.
I mean, that is an approach. I don't feel strong enough about it that I wanna propose it, but it is a, you know, you guys probably know that.
Yep, well, yeah, it's getting close to $1 million, so. But the staff like the program that they have, so.
I'm sure they do. It's very-
Anytime you
it's very
consider,
generous.
anytime you consider cutting those kinds of things, that cuts into morale and all kinds of other stuff.
That
so-
is a
It's
pay
part of
cut.
the benefit, it's a
I
pay
I know
cut,
it's a pay
yeah.
cut, but, you know,
Yeah,
we
exactly.
keep sneaking up on this conversation about hard decisions, and I'm just throwing a couple of them out here and saying, you know, if you're serious about cutting the budget, and we've done the easy stuff, the only thing that's left is the hard stuff.
Mhm.
And the question is, where do you start? You know, you're not gonna get to 600,000 by letting a part-timer at the dump go. You know, those, you can make lots of those little changes that just get people angry and don't really accomplish anything.
Yeah. Well, get the state to pay for the retirement for the fire and the police people, because
Yeah,
you got a person
Well,
right here that
They should.
has so much pull.
When I like to keep myself humble, I remind myself that I'm one of 400 of one half,
Yes.
1/3 of the state government.
Yes, yes.
Is that, what are you in?
The House.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's in the
yeah.
house.
I mean, to be fair, my friends and I have been making this downshifting argument,
Mhm.
and serving in this board, I was wondering, like, oh, when is that actually gonna show up?
The downshifting, you mean?
Oh, yeah.
Of putting more cost back to the communities?
Yes,
They've been doing it for years.
yes.
Yeah, no kidding.
Cost sharing in highway, cost sharing in rooms and meals,
Mhm.
those are always higher. And in terms of employee retirement stuff, they lured us into by saying, we'll pay the retirement if you get everybody to join. And then they keep chopping away in terms of how much the towns.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I know you guys increased it, I don't know, what, 2 years ago, something like that, a little bit. We did the same thing with rooms and meals, but it's not consistent. And the thing is, when you guys do it, and I'm not bad-mouthing you, it's just
because he's saying you
as a
guys.
whole.
He's got your ear,
And
so maybe.
it's just not right. And I think until the state has another revenue stream to pay for those things, we're gonna continue to have those particular.
Well, we're not gonna go down that road, because you might get me on my soapbox about interest and dividend tax.
Yeah, they cut that, so, you know, but yeah.
So I would ask people to put their thinking caps on and see to me, it looks like we're kind of stuck, and this is only gonna get worse. We can take out the police officer, and I'll, before next meeting,
Yeah.
I'll recast the numbers, and if you can get, you're also gonna get yours, the cocktail napkin analysis.
Yeah, well, we gotta set a tax rate so I can use those particular forms as 535 and there's two of them that I
Well,
need.
it's Thursday night, I just saw this, setting a tax rate.
Well, maybe, because he submitted the documents this morning, the last one, and she got back to him and said, no, you're not settled yet to do your tax rate. And of the 257 or whatever places that the state of New Hampshire has, only 68 have done it yet. So there's a whole bunch, so
When they say not settled, what's that mean?
there's something missing. Of all the documents and forms they have to submit,
Oh,
somebody doesn't have all the things that they need to set the tax rate.
who sets it, the state or us?
DRA.
Ah.
They say, okay, you've got all your forms, you can now set your tax rate. And we're not at that place, so, and we have to wait in the queue, they do them in order. So it's not like, oh, we're special, you need to do us now, no.
What's the latest it can get done?
I don't know,
Goody,
yes. So,
goody.
but yeah, but one of the problems we had is the thing that held us up was there was a payment from the state, 200 and some odd thousand for that, what was it, Chesley Brook?
Chesley Brook Culvert.
So they told Andy that they paid it, but he didn't check to make sure they paid it, and they never paid it. So he had to get back to them and say, hey, you owe us money. Oh, okay. So they're supposed to be sending us a check for that.
Well, that'll help.
Well, it'll help Ben. So, poor Ben. I was talking to him today, last night, in email back and forth. And he says, we're usually tight in December, but now we're really tight. And I says, what does that mean? He says, I'm gonna have to draw, I believe, everything that's in the CD that they have. They have
Yeah.
$1 million in the CD. They're gonna have to draw it all out to pay for our bills.
Awesome.
Yeah,
And
So
pay,
the school-
and pay the penalty then.
that's between him and the bank.
CD? Oh.
Yeah.
So the county is
Yeah.
due the 15th, I believe, of December, so that's 1.7 million. The school wants their almost $2 million by the end of the, they want it the 1st of December. He called them and he says, well, you're not gonna get it till the 31st. So they're not happy about that, but
Everybody's,
Scott, you asked
It's at all different
if,
levels.
if money was owed from trust and reserve funds,
it's nothing.
and he
really.
said no.
Yeah,
We discussed that at our meeting just at 4:30.
yeah.
We've already paid for those trucks,
Yep,
97,000.
97,000,
That was to come out of reserve funds.
yeah.
Um,
But you haven't got a request for that yet?
No,
And you're paying for the fire truck directly, I'm told.
in the past, when we had a lot of money in certificates, we established a ladder of certificates to mature in October.
Mm.
And every October, I would go and ask the finance officer and the treasurer, how does November look? Can you make it through, or do you need money?
Mm.
Right now, we have a lot that's liquid, so I didn't bother to ask. We could write a check
All right. Well,
for any
according to,
amount.
according to Ben, I don't know, it sounded like he already talked to you, but you're supposed to pay the fire truck directly. That's $837,001.
827, yes.
827?
so Amanda, you're gonna find us our $600,000 somewhere?
Yeah,
We don't pay anything till we get a request. I mean, that's where it starts.
It's at the Dover Casino.
Because it's,
I'm
That
kidding.
new place, yeah.
that's the other thing, because I came to this realization a few years ago that expenses are going up more than the revenue's going up, so we have to do something, so we explore.
There's more than that.
What?
There's more than that. You bought a new pickup truck. Highway Department bought a new pickup truck beginning of the year, right?
Was that what pushed? I don't remember, something pushed me. But the thing is, we explored something with Madbury to see if we can contract services with them.
Mm.
They sounded interested, but then nothing happened. Now with this whole thing with the fire department collaborative thing, they're still possibly looking for police coverage. So he got a request from Chief McGann, our chief, about exploring that again.
Madbury chief. And,
Yeah, that Chief McGann is
Yeah.
Madbury chief.
Yeah.
So that might be a possibility. But the thing is, revenue's just not growing as much as expenses. So what's gonna make up the difference? It's gonna be
Bills,
taxation.
taxes.
So,
That pickup truck, they said they purchased it. That was to come out of Highway Equipment Capital Reserve Fund. That was $78,169.
in this fiscal year?
Yes, you approved it last fiscal year, but with the condition that it not be purchased until this fiscal year.
So maybe what we should do is be asking for that 97,000 and the
And the
78.
78,000,
That'll give him a little bit more leeway, okay.
I mean, and there may be more, but it shouldn't be the trustees of trust funds telling
Yep.
you what you've spent.
Yep.
The town ought to know what it's spent. And I end up saying that the last 2 years.
What was the other thing? The trucks and?
It was the two trucks.
Pickup.
And then there was the Ford F-450.
That was 78.
78,169 is what the state contract price was.
So Eric, do you have any thoughts?
I have a lot of thoughts.
Once
Any
you-
that'll help
once
us
you
with
can
this?
say in public?
I mean, a lot of this has been known for a long time. I think it's why, you know, we were talking about doing this like cooperative fire, potentially cooperative police thing, you know, when I first got on here.
Yeah.
I'm glad that the chiefs are actively having monthly meetings.
Yep.
And to the extent that I can facilitate that, I'm more than happy to do that. What gave me pause is when he's like, we're all gonna retire within the next 2 years or so, give or take, but this is not gonna happen for another 3 to 5.
Yep.
That needs to change.
How do you change that, though?
Something is holding them back. I don't know exactly what it is, but figuring that out and solving it, or helping them to solve it, I think is the way forward.
To take the jump
Yeah.
and do.
How do you do that, though? How do you reach
I don't
out?
know, I haven't spoken with them, so I
Yeah.
can't
Hmm.
intelligently tell you what the answer is, but there's gotta be a way to do it, in a way that doesn't make people upset in the way that, you know, we have the issue with the school district being that essentially Durham dominates the other two.
Yes.
Because it's based on one person, one vote. And there's just simply more people in Durham than there are in Lee and Madbury combined, I think. But as far as like, you know, even if we solve that problem right now, today, that doesn't really, I should say, even if we solve that problem in 18 months, that doesn't solve our issues now.
Well, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The two of you have a lot more of a vested interest in what we do than the three of us do,
Hey, come on.
particularly me.
Jeez.
And that's why I think it's increasingly important that we get people like Amanda who have kids in the school district who are planning to be here for
Yeah.
some period of time, whose thoughts are interesting about this, because it's the decisions we make now that are gonna impact things 20 years from now. And I think it's, at some point, if Scott's right, and we really have, if revenues are more limited than costs are, at some point we have to start cutting back on positions and things like that. And those are big decisions for a community to make, because it changes the character of the relationship of the staff. It changes the level of services we can provide to people. It changes everything, but it may be where we're gonna end up at some point. We kind of nose up to it every year and say, well, this may be where we end up. And then, oh, we don't wanna do that, it would run back the other direction again.
Well, unless you keep taxing people at those excessive rates, and at some point, people are gonna say, heck, no, I'm not gonna do that. And just
Just because they can't
Yeah.
afford it.
And the thing, we talk about fire, you gotta be very grateful in terms of what you have for police and fire. If you take a look to Lee and Madbury is in a difficult position.
Right.
They've got a part-time fire chief, they've got a part-time on-call staff, and the same thing with the police department, they're all part-time, there's no full-time people over there. And the thing is, if you have an emergency, you have to wait for them, one, to go to the fire truck, the fire station, get into their gear, get the fire truck going, and then respond. The problem is, sometimes that's 20 minutes. If you have a fire, your house is gone. If you have a medical emergency, you're having a heart attack or something, you're dead. And the thing is, also in terms of your insurance, the response time dictates as a factor, and I always forget what it is.
Yeah.
The quicker the response time, this factor, I believe it decreases, which makes your insurance, home insurance cheaper. Theirs is wicked high. And it's just a terrible state. If I lived in Madbury, I'd probably move. But yeah, it's a difficult, and they're trying to fix it. I'm not saying they're not, but they are trying. Barrington's in a similar situation. They're about twice as big as we are. They have some on-call people, they have some full-time people. They just went out to hire a chief, and they couldn't find anybody that's qualified. There's just nobody out there that's interested. So they're looking to say, okay, well, let's get all these three towns together, and maybe we can get an administrative chief, because those people are out there. And then you'll have captains in each of the towns that are actually in charge of the brigade itself. So it's really an administrative structure change. But yeah, Madbury's in a terrible situation, so.
All the more reason to see why we can't do this sooner rather than later.
Right, because the other potential problem is if all three of them retire in, say, 2 years, and then all three towns hire somebody new,
You gotta start over
then
again.
their motivation to eliminate two of their jobs is non-existent.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
And the thing is, I'm one of the representatives from the town of Lee as the select board representative. But the thing is, the thing that struck me, it was kind of a breath of fresh air. Those three chiefs are working very collegially. There's no well, I'm better than you, so whatever. There's none of that. They're trying to do the best they can for their communities and the other communities. One of the things that our chief, we have a whole bunch of stuff. In terms of administrative, we're ahead of Barrington and Madbury in terms of administrative stuff. What is it? I don't remember what it's, SB. It's the protocols in terms of when you go to a fire. We have ours all written out. Barrington had some, but not all. Madbury has none. So Chief Nemit's been giving that stuff to the other two towns so they can have something to start with. The other thing is in terms of response time, one of the things they quoted me a few times, I don't care what color the fire engine is, I don't care what color the ambulance is, I want somebody there as quick as possible. So
That's
the
what
chiefs
you're
are also working on, there's some parts of Barrington that Lee can get to way faster than Barrington can.
That's what Scott was saying.
So,
Right.
the thing is, that's gonna be helpful, and the chiefs can do that all by themselves.
Yeah.
They don't need
They
anybody
can
outside,
coordinate it.
mutual aid.
Yeah.
And the same thing in terms of Madbury. There's some things that Durham can get to faster than Lee or Barrington can get to. And also in terms of faster than Madbury itself, because all their volunteers,
Right.
and that's assuming that volunteers are in Madbury. What if they're in Portsmouth? They have to drive all the way, get in their gear, your house is gone, or you're dead. So, none of those are nice. So, hopefully we can work something out, but.
Another procedural thing we talked about, you might have seen a note from Denise about the minutes, since we haven't seen any minutes. If you could review the minutes that she sent out, she's gonna send some more out. Who's gonna get those to us for signature?
The people that sign them are the chairs of both committees.
Right,
So it's just you and me.
so it's you and Scott and,
So we could sign them on Monday, Monday the 8th if you want.
Okay, well then,
Because they don't
everybody
have-
take a look at the minutes that
Yeah.
she sent out, if you have any complaints or comments.
They need to be posted, they don't have to be approved.
she only sent out 2 so
She
far.
only sent out two. She has-
So-
yeah, she's.
I read those, I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, she's had some personal issues with relatives.
Yeah. Family.
I don't mind continuing our discussion, but on the other hand, I think we've probably identified the things that we need to do, unless Mr. Bugby has any thoughts.
Unless, I don't know if there's something that John wants to add in terms of information, no, okay.
And you have your to-do list.
Yes, yes, I have my to-do list. So I'm gonna send out the health coverage spreadsheet, because I have that, accrued benefits, I have that too. I'm gonna talk about the STEP program,
Yep.
what's in there and what's not. I think we covered this additional officer thing.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna ask administration to submit to the trustees of the trust funds, which doesn't necessarily mean anything to us, the 97,000 for the 2 trucks, the 2 big trucks, and the 78,000 for the pickup, so that will help Ben in terms of cash flow.
and I'll print out for next time some worksheets for everybody.
Well, the thing is, we should bring this worksheet.
Yes, if everybody could bring a worksheet, if you all use your printers. We've had some
Yeah.
members of this committee who
Sure.
refuse to print anything out.
Not me, I
Just
print everything.
maybe
I was
certain-
the
I've
one
got
who
the right
printed
file
everything
where
on
it
it.
was. Right.
So we should bring a laptop so we can get the official number, because you have to have a,
We have a nice projector.
That I can do.
Yeah,
yeah, but
This is
you need a
not-
computer with the program on it so that you can total it up.
It's also,
Yeah.
this is hard to read on camera.
That's true.
it is hard to.
Is that hard no matter how it's done? I
I
was-
haven't seen it done in a way that I could read it well,
Yeah.
but to be fair, I'm not a huge watcher of
And
Yeah,
and
this
you
on
would just,
YouTube,
you would
but when I've
just,
looked at it in the past, it hasn't been very clear.
and you were just seeing it in the full room view.
Yeah,
Okay, Scott, I was told once that they have the ability to record the projector independently at the same time that they're recording the room view,
I do not know. I don't know
and
anything about that.
that you can then edit it so that you can show what's on the screen.
Well, the other
Because
thing,
number one, you have to have someone like a town administrator that puts together a PowerPoint where instead of using big bands of color and a little tiny one half the screen that has the spreadsheet in it, he uses the whole screen.
you can also put this document online, so you can tell them, you can go reference what we're talking about.
I'm talking about for the purpose of your meeting.
Oh, for
And
here.
the other thing I would appreciate is next time if we can, if anybody has any comments they'd like me to include in my very short, we present our recommendations to the select board on December 8th. And it's gonna be very short because we don't have much in the way of recommendations, but other years there have been more.
Well, I think one of the things, you can talk about numbers, but I think if you don't mind me suggesting, I think
That's why I asked.
if you speak about what we discussed tonight in terms of
Right.
the expenses are going up, revenues are going up, you don't see that changing. And also in terms of, you know, we've nickeled and dimed this particular budget as much as we can. It's still, what, $500,000 more, or whatever it happens to be. But there needs to be some analysis in terms of what are we gonna do in the future, because it's only gonna get worse. It's not gonna get better.
How about the regionalization conversation? Is that
You can
legit?
have a conversation about
I mean,
that.
is that a legitimate point to bring up?
Yeah, you
Yes.
can.
As
As a
Yes.
possibility of direction? which we
Of
might-
being able to reduce our budget. Yeah, right?
The other thing is, the other thing they're talking about is a regionalization of their equipment too. Why does Lee need a tanker when Barrington and Madbury have a tanker? Can we share 2 tankers amongst ourselves? Rescue trucks, needs to be a coordination of those particular things, because we've got $827,000 in one for an engine.
Yeah.
Well, going out, if
Well,
you spread it
you
out,
could-
it's going to get more expensive as we go along, so.
Oh, I know, you only bought that one that cheap because it's a loaner, I mean, a demo.
No, don't worry.
To their credit, if they had not combined the functions
Mhm.
and if they had purchased custom,
Mhm.
you would be talking close to $2 million total.
So, can our little communities afford $2 million every time we replace? I would say no.
Maybe we could combine some equipment, is what you're saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, they did once. I mean, this engine is combining two trucks.
I mean,
Yeah.
that
Right,
is
but I mean
whole
the
argument,
communities,
The economies of
Like-
scale,
Yes,
that,
the communities combining.
you know, for one example is that Lee, Madbury, and Barrington, if you were to have a cooperative system, you wouldn't need 3 chiefs,
yeah,
right? You would save 2/3,
yeah.
give or take,
You'd have,
immediately
you'd have
upon
one
consolidation.
chief that's administrative chief, and then you would have, they're talking about captains at each of the locations that are in charge of the staff at that particular place. Captains are less than chiefs. So
Yeah,
that's potential savings right there. But
that and the equipment, yeah,
I
absolutely.
would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
We'll
motion,
see you next week.
motion passes.
wait,
Do you have to shut off the recorder?
No, it does it automatically.
When the time that I was watching, it stopped when the lights turned out and everybody left.
Okay.
So it's still going right now,
I know
even
it is.
though our meeting
Oh,
has
yeah.
stopped.
I know.
Yeah, Back Bay will cut the beginning and cut the end off, so.
Right. But I mean, if you're watching live, you're still seeing all of this.
I wonder how many people watch this meeting live.
Not that many.
Is it any?
Well,
Yes.
John and Ann usually watch the select meeting. I think they're the only ones that watch it really, but I don't know.
So
I've
put
asked
your-
a few times in terms of numbers, and they can't seem to give us the numbers in terms of how many people watch.
It's exciting, isn't it? I always love it when we say.
You should know because it's a live video. YouTube should tell you.
Yes, you would think that. But I've asked numerous times, and they can't get the information.
I always love it when we pay for things and can't get information out.
Yeah, there's analytics for YouTube.
Yeah,
Yeah, there are.
They just don't know where to find them maybe.
yeah,
That could be.
that seems way more likely.
Yeah.
So I expect those minutes to be in our
so, yeah, I was
mailboxes
gonna ask
tomorrow.
you, do I have to,
You have 5 days.
I have to type it up within 5 days and email it to
Well,
someone?
Denise.
Or-
Denise.
Okay.
Yeah, so you got the name, when it started, when it finished. So it started at 7 o'clock, and
Seven,
it
yeah,
got done
seven,
at 8.
8:19, I put 8:19,
Just
That's fine.
this one's meeting.
when she said adjourn.
Discuss
Yep, that's good.
everything we're
And
making
do I
decisions
need
about.
just the bullets of
Yeah.
what we,
The last
or do I
minutes,
not even
the
We
need
last
didn't make any
minutes,
decisions, so you don't have to do that.
notice
But
it?
just basically what we talked about.
Yep,
But we're sitting here. with
And you can
everything on the
paraphrase
screen.
too. You don't have to say, well, Eric said blah, 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 blah.
right,
You can
exactly.
say,
Have
Yeah.
a request to pay for something from the
Yep.
fire chief, the email's on the screen. The quote for doing the survey is on the screen.
Basically.
Everything is on the
This
screen.
group has never functioned that way. That's a good idea for next year.
There's spreadsheets for investments, it's on the screen. And,
How hard is it to hook up a laptop?
Not that hard. You
I
just need
I
the
found
cable.
that Airtame, I mean, that's what I'm using now.
Yep.
And it works really well. And I mean, you're not making full use of the 4K.
Mhm.
Where the Airtame can do 4K, but you have to have the right equipment on
So
the town's
what,
end.
what do you need airtime for? Because can't you,
Airtame,
why do you have to have that? Why can't you just plug into it and use it like a monitor?
I used to just plug directly into it.
Yeah.
And you were horrified to see me stand in the chair,
Yeah,
because
I
I have to do
know.
that, plug it in. And that's what I used to do with the other
But
laptop.
the airtime is just,
But
it's a
air-
Wi-Fi.
Airtame is connected to
Airtime.
Wi-Fi.
Okay.
And it only transmits full HD, 1920 by
Nice.
1080. So my laptop is higher than that, and the
Mhm.
laptop is also 16 by 10. And this is just 16 by 9. But with Airtame now, they have improved it so that, it used to be you could only share your full screen,
Mhm.
and now you can share the screen or a particular window.
Oh, okay.
So you can actually set your window to 16 by 9. And you can do the 4K if you have the right equipment on the town's end, and you have the right software,
Okay.
but otherwise,
All right, well,
it works.
be on the lookout for requests for the trustees to
So
pay 2 bills.
what I do, is I just make a folder on my laptop with everything we're gonna be looking at, so that I can sit here and put it on the screen. Um,
Can the town borrow against the CD rather than pulling the money out of the CD itself and use the CD as collateral?
I don't know, because the town years and years and years ago used to have TANs, which tax anticipation
I was gonna ask
notes.
if you did
We
those.
borrow, but we haven't done that,
Haven't needed to.
haven't needed to, so.
Those days may be coming back.
I think with the 245,000 plus this 180,000,
70 something.
170,000, I think then should be okay. That's almost what, 400,000, 410,000?
And there may be other things, those are just the two that I noticed.
Well, you were here last night when I asked in terms of what there was, and it was like
He said there were none,
none, yeah, well,
so,
that's a symptom of another problem.
yes.
So,
Ugh.
John, that's not your code, is it?
What do we have, the next
Thank
one?
you.
What?
When is the
Next week.
December,
same Tuesday? Is that our last one?
2 weeks,
yeah, December 2nd, isn't it?
December 2nd.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
You
Happy
get Thanksgiving off.
Thanksgiving off, and then we, December 2nd, and that's our final
That's our,
ABC,
the last meeting.
ABC.
Yes.
Oh, we don't have next week?
No, we
No.
don't next week, we just have.
December 2nd.
December
Second.
2nd, and
At
then
7.
she presents December 8th.
Yeah, which is the next Monday.
Typically, some of us go sort of for moral support, but
Fine.
you don't have to.
Okay.
I haven't done a PowerPoint in a few years.
Well, I never did, when I was chair for 3 years.
We get here and then these go out, that's when it stops.
Oh, yeah.
This is getting way old.